3个小时100公里啊！你不要走太快了，我尝试跟在你后面。
The worst thing is the butt and the hand.
要加紧我的训练了。哇，不行，我已经开始感受到一些雨滴了，
感觉不错，可能可以考虑买一台。
很重不行啊！
好累啊！我大概在5年前，那个时候呢，看了一部电影叫做《破风》。之后呢，就迷上了骑脚踏车。当时呢，就跟一群朋友呢，买了脚踏车到老巴沙去吃宵夜啊，等等的。不过我最后一次骑脚踏车的，应该是疫情之间吧。那为了接受这一次的挑战呢，我就特别把我的这个战车送去进厂维修一下。所以今天我就把我的脚踏车呢拿来这里给大哥来看一下，顺便做点小维修。
有没有在这个中间？
应该有吧？
有啊，自然大。
我当时最多也可能骑行20-30公里嘛。听说国家队队员每天需要骑行100公里耶，所以我到底能不能够胜任这份挑战呢？今天我就要跟国家队队员 Amen 一起去体验一下，当一名国家队队员到底是怎么样的一个过程。Hello, Evan.
Hi Vincent.
Hey, nice bike.
Yeah, thank you.
哇，哎，这么我们的脚车有点不一样的。
My bike is a disc brake version. Yours is a rim.
哎，通常你们的脚踏车的比赛项目有分成哪几种？
There are a few different types. It's a road race and tours. So tours are like multi-day stage races. Yeah, the most I've done so far was a 5-day tour
Wow.
in Korea, tour of DMZ. The standard road race is just a 1-day race. Whoever that passes the finishing line first, you win. And we have individual time trial. So it's just you racing against the clock.
Okay.
Try to get the fastest time over the course of the distance.
你骑这个脚踏车多久了？
About 3 years now.
哦 ，OK。所以你当初是怎么样爱上这个运动？
At first, it was just a thing between me and my secondary school friends. After that, I just fell in love with the sport.
所以在你的朋友当中，只剩下你一个人还在骑吗？
Yeah, sadly, right now, I'm the only one that is riding. I'm the only one that is riding.
所以这里是你经常来训练的地方吗？
Yes, one of my favorites because it's pretty safe. Yeah, unlike riding on the main roads, there's like a lot of traffic and a lot of cars.
你通常你几点就开始来这里训练？
I like to start early. I usually wake up at about 4.
4点钟啊！
Yeah,
你一个人来，
Yeah, I usually ride alone.
所以4点钟你就开始训练，会大概到几点
Usually I ride about 3 hours on average every day.
？OK。
About covering about 100 km.
那你是怎么样在过程当中都保持你的体力？
We gotta keep our body filled with carbohydrates. So we cyclists usually like to take this. It's called gel.
今天是我第一次来挑战嘛，所以我会跟着你啦训练，你不要太严厉了。我们今天会走的那个路程会是怎么样的？
It's like flat and rollers, a little bit up and down, up and down. It's quite chill.
所以整个路长多远？
About 10 to 20 kilometers today.
在出发之前有没有什么小贴士要给我的？
Just be careful of the cars. Try to stick to the side of the road.
我尽量啦，那你不要走太快了，我尝试跟在你后面。
Okay, so
OK， 好，走。哇，你们说刚刚骑了多久啊？
16 km today.
除了在红绿灯需要停下来，我们几乎都没有停下来，所以我们一直保持这个姿势哦。我的臀部跟手，你不会酸咩？
The worst thing is the butt and the hand.
Maybe you can tilt this downwards a little bit to make it like a little flatter like this.
OK，
Yep. In my opinion, this is like the most comfortable position.
有护垫没有用的哈。
It doesn't completely take away the pain.
虽然它是一路在我前面帮我承受了不少那个风的阻力， 但是还是累了在后面。所以，我刚才发现说你在我前面的时候，其实有给很多手势，可不可以解释一下简单的手势？
For example, back there was a truck, so I pointed like this to let you know that we have to move out to avoid
就是
the.
前面有障碍物，然后我们要靠右边。
If there is like something on the ground, I would point to it to make sure that you don't run over it.
在后面的时候，我是全程看着你，有什么动作我都看得到。
Yeah.
还有一个是转弯，对吗？
U-turn like this, and when we were turning like left there, I would just point like this to let you know that we got a turn.
对，所以很多基本的这些手势是要去学会的啦。
Yeah.
OK， 对于接下来下个星期你给我的挑战，你设给我的目标是什么？
3-hour endurance, most likely we will cover about 100 km.
3个小时100公里啊，做得到的吗？
Yeah, it's doable.
我是说对于我嘞，
Yeah.
可以啊。所以你会给我什么建议？
You can ride every alternate day. Don't go one shot like 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
我也不可以了。那我期待我们下个星期的挑战。好的，由于时间的关系呢，今天就骑到这里了。虽然没有达到30公里的目标，不过也是有将近20公里吧。好，暂时先这样。好的，今天呢继续来接受挑战，要加紧我的训练了。好了，今天就骑到这里，先去大吃一顿，再继续奋斗。今天我来到了玉郎溪体育场，这里呢看到了 Amon 正在做他的热身，待会儿呢有一场骑行比赛，期待他的表现。比赛开始了 ，Amon 现在就迅速的骑行，现在处在第1的位置。最后一圈，最后一圈，突然间有很多人杀出来，3位选手都杀出来了。这是 Amon 第2位，不错，掌声鼓励给他。你刚才是拿第1还是第2名？
I got first.
第1名啊。
Yeah.
所以在你前面的那个，其实他是一个pacer来的。
Yeah, he's a pacer. The first 2 laps to bring up the pace. The other 2 laps is just like free for all. Yeah.
所以你自己平常比较习惯的是 road cycling 对吗？所以你觉得跟 track cycling 有什么不一样？然后你比较喜欢哪一个？
I've honestly never really tried track before, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with road racing.
OK， 还是比较喜欢在路上骑行的感觉啦。我刚过去这个星期，我有去做了一些训练，跟你分享一下我碰到的一些挑战。我觉得主要的原因是加坡这下雨。你碰到下雨的时候，你是继续的骑行吗？还是
I do have an indoor trainer at home. When it rains, I'll just ride on my indoor trainer.
室内的脚踏车？
Yeah, usually I try to find the patterns. I found out that the past few weeks is raining in about like afternoon, so I'll try to finish my ride before that.
所以你做这个脚踏车骑士，你还要做那个天气，要去 check， 查一下它的天气预报是怎么样的。OK。So you're Amon's coach?
Yes.
For how long?
Almost a year and a half now.
所以你觉得 Amon 他的强处在哪里？
He's very fast. He's also a very good time trialer, so they kind of go a little bit hand in hand. Quite a good arsenal of weapons when it comes to racing.
那你觉得说你对于 Amon 的训练有没有什么地方是比较着重的？
At the moment, because he's very young, we're trying to build his engine, make it sustainable so he can handle a whole season of racing. So he's only 18 now.
Yeah.
Generally, in the world of cycling, it's in your 20s before you mature properly.
And what about yourself? How long have you been cycling? And
30 plus years now. So I started, my dad was a cyclist, so I started when I was 13.
for the past week, I've been actually training according to Amon's homework for me. I've met with some challenges. I need some help, some tips from you. Basically, it's how to sustain the speed at which I go and at the distance, because I feel that that's a challenge for me. Any advice from me?
Food. So make sure you're fueled up before. It's like a car, you need fuel in the tank. Heaps of sleep. Whenever we train, we always start off smaller and build up. So it's not a load them up in the first week of their training. It's all about gradual build up.
What are the goals that you have for Amon or even Team Singapore in terms of cycling?
Our major goals are always SEA Games at this stage.
All the best
Yeah.
for the upcoming games. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you. 之前我就问 A 们说，如果年底经常下雨的话，怎么样去做训练呢？他就跟我说，其实呢，他有一个室内脚踏车。今天我就来跟他了解一下，到底这个室内脚踏车呢是怎么样的一个用法的。Hello A 们，嘿，你好，你好。所以你在家平常要训练也是要穿到跟外面骑脚车一样吗？
The bibs are necessary, but the top doesn't really matter.
对哦，那个垫子还是非常重要的。所以你会怎样放这个脚踏车放在上面去？
All we gotta do is just remove the rear wheel.
把那个后轮给拆下来，然后装上这个骑行台，其实挺快的嘞，整个过程。所以可以解释一下我们在屏幕上看到的这些东西是什么吗？
Oh, so this is an application based on how hard you're pedaling in terms of watts. Rider here would move faster.
它就是模拟真实的在路上骑行的整个情况。
So if you're racing on this app, it's mostly just about how hard you can pedal. There is not much tactic to it.
所以一般上你训练的时候用这个骑行台也是几个小时？
Yeah, I find that riding on trainer is you can put out a better quality workout because on the road you will stop pedaling, stop at traffic lights. Whereas if you ride this one, you can just do 3 hours straight, which simulates like a race.
你的时速就看上面那边，
Yeah, 46.
所以你要
And then there's the power that you're putting out.
但是我刚才有看到有人在走路了，
This app is actually for runners and cyclists.
所以他们是用什么？他们是用。所以这个骑行台跟在公路上骑行，你比较喜欢哪一个？它分别在哪里？
If I have a show that I want to catch up on Netflix, I would rather ride Zeus. And also, but riding out is, I think, a little less boring and it keeps you alert. I try to get all my rides outdoors because I do outdoor races, not here. So I need to get the right feel.
那接下来要不要让我试一下？
Okay, sure.
看你骑到满头大汗。你骑这个需要换挡的吗？
Yeah, but I usually just change the one on the right. Yeah. Most of the time you are gonna be going at a higher speed on this.
我觉得用这个骑行有点像在玩游戏的感觉，感觉不错，可能可以考虑买一台。哇，不行，我已经开始感受到一些雨滴了。很遗憾，今天的训练还是必须提早结束。过2天就要跟 A 们来见面进行挑战了。今天应该是我最后一次的训练，有一点小担心，因为还是没有骑到非常的快和够远，但是希望足够了。好了，有点小担心，要找一个避雨的地方了。拜。有 A 们，今天是我接受挑战的时候了。我之前看到他有介绍说，可以吃这种运动胶囊，对吗？所以今天在还没有出发之前，我决定先来尝试一下。但是味道没有很好吃
Sometimes if I take too many during a race, I'll feel like vomiting.
你每次骑你会吃几包？
During a race, typically it's 4, 6 per hour. So about every 15 minutes, try to take one.
哇，你骑4个小时，你不是吃16包？
Yeah.
希望今天的挑战可以成功了，好吗？出发。哇，好累！所以你对我今天的表现有什么评价？
I think it was way better than that day.
我想问，如果一半的话，你们骑行到一半的话，如果那个轮胎爆的话怎么办？
We gotta stop at the side of the road to
轿车吗？
fix the puncture. Usually I will bring this saddlebag.
所以里面会放一个备胎。
For me, I have this thing called sealant.
OK，
When I get a puncture, it will seal it up. Yeah, the whole.
经过了这1个星期的这个训练，还有今天的挑战之后，我觉得A们成功的让我燃起了我对于骑脚踏车的这个热忱的那把火。谢谢A们。